Yeah,
we need to move forward.
We need to move forward. We need to move forward.
And we need better relations. As you know, when NECA is successful, our members are successful. They're working. They're out there on the job.
They're doing a better job for the contractor. If we can, I think that we can get this alumni agreement put together, which allows our members to start shops and pay into their pension and their fringe benefits like they already are, right?
Other unions have that.
Other unions have it.
Right? Yeah.
I called around the U.S. And I started at local 1, and I got to like local 123 or 126. But I just called every local and said, "Hey, do you allow this? And if so, can you tell me more about it? Like, what are your structures around that?" And some of them said, "Yeah, almost all of them said we were one of 3 that doesn't allow it in that first 120 something."
Wow, that's substantial.
Yeah. And so some of them sent me documentation, but we would talk about, okay, well, yeah, we allow it if you have, 3 bargaining unit members, or some of them would say up to 10 bargaining unit members, and then they can't pay into it, right? Okay. But every local had a different structure, but the vast majority allow it and promote it. They want their members to start shops, and
we have many members who are interested in starting their own shops, but don't for various reasons, and some of those are the pension.
Yeah.
How do you work your whole career paying into the pension, and now all of a sudden you're not going to anymore? That's a huge deterrent for opening your own shop.
And it's a gamble. One of my good friends started a shop shortly out of the apprenticeship, and now he's back working for us, working as a wireman. And he's like, "Oh, I lost 10 years of my pension, and I did good during that time, but I lost 10 years of my pension." And so that's the risk our members are taking. And as we kick them out, we're like, well, no, you can't be an owner and, be part of the brotherhood at the same time, effectively. So I did that research. And then on the other hand, I started calling NECA contractors and said, all right, these are contractors that are signatory to Puget Sound NECA. And I got through a third of them. And I targeted contractors that, the owner shared the same name as the business, right? I mean, that's somebody that came out of the field and said, all right, did you, would you have continued to pay into the pension when you graduated from the field up into being a company owner? Would you have continued to pay into the pension if you were allowed to? Right. And every one of them said yes. But there were a few that came back and said, well, I probably wouldn't do that currently, because I've invested in different ways. I'm this far into my career, so I wouldn't change now because I've gone down this road. But I would absolutely support the change to allow members to do that. And those are our current NECA contractors, and so I had those conversations with them, and so they are supportive. One of the contractors I contacted was she said, she kind of let me have it on the phone. She said, "Oh, don't you come to me with this idea. 17 years ago, when my husband and I started this company, you kicked him out. You kicked him out of the brotherhood. And so, now we're, on the other side." And that's the thing. And I was like, "Hey, you're exactly who I want to talk to. Tell me more about your thoughts on this." And so we did talk about it for a little while, and she understood where I was coming from. But what we're doing is forcing those members to the other side of the table. Now you're on NECA's side. We kicked you out of the brotherhood, effectively, right? I mean, they can still pay their basic dues and get their IO pension, but what incentive do they have to treat you as a member like a brother. They don't. They're on you. We've put them on the other side.
Yeah.
So
Didn't even give them the option.
I would like to give them the option, and I think it will increase our relationship. It'll better our relationship with NECA. It'll improve our owners and worker relationships. We're all on the same team, and I think
We
that
are all on
Jameson
the
and
same
I,
team.
yes,
I feel like that gets lost a lot.
it does.
But we're all on the same team. One of us succeeds, we all succeed.
Yes, we're tied together. So, Jameson and I have talked about it a couple times. He said he's not opposed to it. He did tell me, like, don't make this just something that you're running on, right? Because he can't make a promise, and I appreciate that. Like, let's have that good, clear communication, because it really does come down to both sides working together. So it's not something I can promise, but I do think I can get it there, and if we do that, in addition to starting the RES program, the Residential Electrical Services program, we can if we can peel members off the books right now and start putting them to work, capturing the residential market that we barely have a foothold in. And so we would increase our market share instantly. We'd be peeling members off of the books instantly, and better our relationship with NECA. I mean, like, these are all, I don't think I'm dreaming.
No. Well, there's a reason that we installed it in the past, right?